That is what you call a Caesar. And no, it's not a home brew, unfortunately. I don't have a home brew available to me at the moment because I just kegged and it's not carbonated yet, so it's sitting in my keezer cooling off, and it'll be ready by tomorrow. So I went up the street and I bought myself a thing of vodka and some Clamato juice, and that's what is a Caesar. If you want to look up Caesars on YouTube and see what they are, that's what you should do. It's a Canadian drink. It's just nice to get away from beer and wine for a little while, get something different. Yeah, it's basically vodka and Clamato juice. And if you don't know what Clamato juice is, well, I'm not going to go through all that. It's just tomato juice that's got flavorings added to it. And if you find the Mott's Clamato juice, then I buy the one that's, the flavor is, it's called the Works. Is the, you get the one with the original, and you get the one with the lime and whatever. You get the one with the Works. It's got everything in it. The, Tabasco sauce, the, Worcestershire sauce and everything. If you can learn how to make a Caesar, I urge you to try one because they're delicious. If you like tomatoey kind of things, they're very, very, very good. Anyway, that's what I've got. So, happy Homebrew Wednesday, belated. And I'm not going to apologize because I was asked not to by people. So I'm just going to say, hey, it was my son's birthday on Wednesday, and so I didn't have a lot of time to make a video. Him and I hung out. We went down to my mom's house, and had a little bit of a barbecue. Me and my two boys. My wife was at work, so she wasn't there. But yeah, it was awesome. So he turned 17. That number might mean something to a few of you. He's quite proud, actually, that he turned 17 years old, because he knows about 17. Excuse me, I get asked quite a bit, what's with the 17 thing? It means cheers. We've got the 17brewcrew.com, and we just use the term 17. It means cheers. It originated from Mike. I don't want to mention his last name. I know it, but I don't want to mention it. But his name is The Maniac on YouTube, and he is a maniac. he's quite the guy. He originated it, and I'm not going to go through the whole story of how it came up, but basically that's where it came from. So, 17. Yeah, he's pretty proud of himself. He's 17 years old. So yeah, we went down to my mom's house, and I cooked up some burgers and hot dogs on the Barbie, and we sat around, drank a couple things, and, well, my mom and I, kids are too young to drink, but yeah, well, 17, I gave him a couple of sips of something, whatever. Don't tell anybody. Anyway, that's kind of why I didn't have the video out. And I really don't have much to talk about, guys. I mean, I haven't brewed this week, and I will be brewing this weekend, so I'll film some of that, and that'll be part of next week's Homebrew Wednesday video, which I hope will get out on time for once. But as you can see, I'm sitting outside in my yard. I wanted to do this video earlier today, but there were too many kids running around screaming and stuff, and it just wasn't going to work. So here we are, out in the dark. I've got a light sitting clipped onto that fence over there, and that's it. So yeah, I have, as you saw last week, this isn't going to be much of a Homebrew Wednesday video. I'm just sitting here rambling. I don't even know what I'm going to talk about. I have those beautiful beer kits to brew up. I can't get the Brewer's Best beer kits anymore at my local homebrew supplier because, well, I won't go into details, but he can't carry them anymore because they're not part of the company that he gets them from. Doesn't carry them anymore. Let's just put it that way. So he could get them if he you know, but yeah, anyways. So I'm glad to have the two that I've got, which were brought to me from Jeff from Texas, and thanks again, Jeff, for coming and giving us a good time, me and him and Joseph, and it was a lot of fun. So I've got 4 beer kits in there to brew up, so I'm going to be busy. I haven't had time this week because the birthday, and my wife started a new job, so it's been taking, I've been trying to help her a little bit, make her lunches, and get her off to work, and she's working weird hours. It's 11:30. Actually, it's probably midnight actually right now, and she's still at work. So, it's taken a lot of stress on her, and of course I'm trying to pick up where she leaves off, and it's a house. We gotta run a family here. So, and my throat is starting to get all funny, so I'll take a drink. I put some lemon in there too. Oh my god, it's good. Good drink. Anyway, so yeah, that's why we're a little behind here, and I haven't done much this week in the way of brewing. Making a video once a week is I can't brew every week. I'm not. Some people think I drink like a keg a week or something like that. It might seem like that, but it's not the case. It's just the way I time the videos, and I might shoot a video at a different time than when it gets posted and whatnot. So it's not. Yeah, I mean, it's. I can't brew beer every single week, but I can talk about, I guess, what I've got in there right now, ready to be carbonated, is a Cooper's English Bitter, and I'm about to put in the pipeline another Canadian Blonde for summer, so I can sit out here in my beautiful backyard and drink a nice cold, lawnmower beer. And of course, I'm going to brew these beer kits that I got from Jeff and Glenn from Texas, and give those a whirl. I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, I've even got the remote in my hand. I'm not even going to edit this video at all. I'm just going to post it the way it is. A little bit about the Palmer interview. John Palmer was a very, very comforting and pleasant lad to talk to. Full of information. And I was so pleased with the positive response I got from, you guys. Really, really pleased with that. Thank you so much for that. I need that. I was very nervous when I did that interview with him. As it got closer to the time when I had to Skype him, I was, crapping my pants, really. I mean, was just really nervous. I might come off as somebody who can, no, I was nervous. Hey John, how you doing? I have all the, the recordings of the before and after the interview part, but I'm not gonna, I told John I was only gonna use the interview part. So, we spoke a little bit before the interview. I had to set up screenshots and things like that to get everything right, so that it was all the right size and everything. So he had to sit there and wait for me to do that. But I'm sure he's used to that. And yeah, I was just really happy with the whole thing, and with your responses to it. Now, there were a few people, and people have been nudging me lately not to be so sensitive to negative comments or whatever, and not to apologize, and not to try to, I don't know, what's the word, explain myself, or whatever. But I would like to say that I like to please everybody, but I can't. It's impossible to do. You guys know that. You can't please everybody. It's just not possible. But when I can't, when somebody isn't happy with my work, I like to try and explain to them, well, I'm sorry, but, you know, this is the way it is, and that's the way it went. But when I get accused of something that I'm not guilty of, that bothers me. So there was a couple of people who, I went to the forums to see whether there was any movement as far as that interview went, and there was a couple of people who said that they thought that I slanted the interview more towards extract or more towards the kits, like I had an agenda or something. I'm going to tell you right now, bluntly, that is nonsense. That and I can think of another term for it, but I won't say it. That is nonsense. The questions that I asked John were questions that were sent to me by people. It was a year ago when I put the video out and said, what do you want me to ask John? Right? Those are the questions I got. Okay? I couldn't use all the questions I got because we didn't have time, but I went through them, and some of them were just like, you know, how come I have a hangover in the morning? Is it the alcohol, or is it the, you know, I couldn't put those to John because that's not, you know, me and Dan, ABA, picked the best 20 something questions to ask John Palmer, and that's what we got. Now, we had questions about water, yeast, all grain, 10-gallon all grain batches. What's the best all grain recipe for starters, for people who start, you know, just starting out? We talked about a lot of those kinds of things. It was a very broad range of questions. A lot of times it led back to extract because John has his knowledge about how it's different when you're brewing with extract than when you're brewing with all grain. With all grain, you've got to be sort of careful about the pH, the type of water you're using, the minerals in the water, if there are any, or if they're not, that you've got to add them yourself, that kind of thing. With extract, you don't. So he referred to extract a lot in the questions that I had for him. Just to say that, you know, well, if you're doing extract, you don't have to worry about that because it's already in the extract. It's got the minerals in it. You don't have to worry about the water softness or things like that, or the pH. So, I mean, I kept going back to water. I kept going back to other things, and it always led back to the extract thing, because that's what we're doing. We're brewing extract. We're brewing all grain. We're brewing beer kits. That's what us brewers do. So I was, you know, a little, had a little bit of a chuckle when a couple of guys were, he's just got an agenda, you know. He's got John wrapped around his finger. He's trying to, you know, get the, you know, the answers he wants to get. That's not the case. And I was trying to get, you know, simple brewing questions, and I think John covered a lot of great information. Anyway, I'm not going to dwell on it. 99.9% of the feedback I got from that video was great, and I really appreciate that. But I do like to cover my bases and make sure that people who are naysayers have the information they need before they naysay. And if they still want to naysay, well, that's fine. Can't please everyone. Oh yes, and I did pop the beer kit question. Of course I did. What would a Craig Tube interview be without, can we brew good beer from the canned beer kits? You know, well, that was like 7 minutes of the whole interview. It's like the interview was like an hour and 15 minutes long. I spent 7 minutes talking about extract brewing. The rest of it was John. But yeah, it went well. So next time we do that, I'll probably get some more questions from you guys, and you know, we'll cover some more, maybe more advanced topics with him, since he's invited me to do that again. Maybe in a few months we'll revisit that, and we'll get some more all grain you know, oriented questions or more advanced questions. We'll see what you guys come up with. It's up to you guys. Yeah, two of those questions were mine. The rest of them were all people who watch my video. So there you go. All right. Now, that is the end of that topic, and that is the end of me apologizing or trying to, you know, explain my methods, because I've been told. So there you go. I've been told to stop apologizing for those kinds of things, but I feel that I need to explain just so that everybody understands. You know. That's pretty much all I've got for you guys this week. I mean, I'm sitting out here. It's about midnight. I got to go in the house. I've got a whole bunch of dishes I got to do. Got to clean my wife's rat's cage. There's more than a few rats in this house, in the cages. don't even ask. And just make sure everything's good so when she gets home she can relax, because the new job that she has is it's very, very labor intensive, and she comes home and she's sore. She's not used to it. So I'm trying to make sure, because my work is not labor intensive at all. So I feel bad. You know, you can't make a living on one income these days. You just can't. We live on a shoestring budget as it is, and both of us, you know, have incomes, and you know, so she's got to do what she's got to do, and I'm proud of her. That's my wife, Winona. So anyway, I gotta go. I hear my neighbor out there sitting, probably listening to me. Heard him cough a minute ago. And I should get going, guys. Listen, I'm going to do my live broadcast Friday night, okay? Unless I'm sick or something weird goes on. Friday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm not going to put a thing at the bottom. Well, I'll put an annotation, I guess, because I'm not going to edit this video. VonLive.tv/CraigTube. Great music, great talk, great calls, great time, great chat room. Don't know what else you could possibly want. Yeah, it's summertime. You might want to go out and get out and do something, and go out and meet some friends and go to a bar or go to an outdoor thing and drink some beers. That's great. But if you don't want to do that, then my broadcast is a great place to hang out. Excuse me. And vonline.tv/CraigTube, and it's 10 o'clock p.m. It starts, roughly. T-shirts. Yes. Okay, right there. If you want to buy a shirt, it helps support my thing that I do here. And actually, we're working on some hats. Not like this, because we can't. It's hard to find a hat like this. This is actually, apparently this hat came from a military somewhere. I don't know. I found it out the front of my house on the grass, and I brought it in the house, and I tried to find out who it belonged to, and nobody claimed it, so I'm wearing it. But we do have hats in the making, so if you have any ideas for hats, let me know down in the comments. If you want, if there's something you'd like, or an idea you have for hats, then you know, we're trying to keep them simple. Downstairs in the comments. Okay. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna go. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your comments, and thank you for watching the videos. Next week we should be brewing on Homebrew Wednesday. Got lots of stuff to do in there, so I got all weekend to figure that out, and next week we'll be brewing some beer and tasting something. So check it out next week on Homebrew Wednesday. Hopefully it's on time. Okay. Thank you. Be safe, okay? We'll see you soon. Cheers.